Hello and welcome to the last So You Think You've Been Fanon episode to be recorded in the year of our Lord 2025. I'm your host Sergio, and today I am here with Greg Chudley of the SCP Wiki.
Hello, what's up?
Yeah, it is 12:30 right now is the last episode we're recording, and fiddly enough, it is only the two of us and
It's
not everybody.
6:52, man. What are you talking about? What's up?
Uh Personally, not much. But today we are headed back to the SCP Wiki as Series 10 came out. 9K Con was earlier this year, and now we are finally in the 9000s Series 10.
Hmm.
Um,
Which is
except
crazy.
it is crazy considering when I found this website, we were only on Series 3.
Uh-huh.
We are soon to be facing the question of what happens with the 10,000s, because at the moment SCP-9999 has been reserved by staff. You can't fill it, so they obviously have
Interesting.
something planned for that one.
Interesting. I think they should just drop the next 10,000. I think the further we get into being a group together, where we read SCP and stuff, the more I realize that it just the gaps of time between contests for like every thousandth integer is reducing.
Yes, it is. It
So
is
I
like
think dropping
exponentially
more.
like, what do you call it? Shrinking.
Yes. If they make like series 11 like 10 and 11,000, that would be fine. But I'd say just fuck it, 10,000.
Yeah, because I feel like what happens is like 9K Con opens and they get 200 like entries, and so it starts with like
Yeah,
200 filled.
20% of the fucking number is done. But
Yeah, we have 712 open slots remaining, so we got a little over 200 SCPs have already been written for Series 10.
mm-hmm. But anyways, we're gonna be reading SCP 9998 by, I don't know how to
Uh,
pronounce your username, Dysadron?
Dys-
Dysadron?
Dysadron,
Yeah.
which is funnily enough, Dysadron shot me a Discord DM a few
Oh,
days
really?
ago while we were at home at because unbeknownst to me, when I submitted my art exchange gift, I had absentmindedly put my username in the link, which would have revealed to my giftee who wrote
Mm.
it. And so I was like, they, I don't know what their pronouns are. I'll just say they messaged me and were like, yo, so what's going on with your art exchange? And I was like, why are they messaging me about this? I've never talked to them before. And then I went to my wiki account and saw that somebody else had tried to reach out to me and be like, you need to change the message. And
Mm.
that's what it turned out to be.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, shout out Dysadron. Banger username. Hopefully banger article. I saw people talking about this on everyone's favorite platform, XD Everything app, and so that's why I wanted to read it. I think Exploring series might have just covered it, and that's why is my guess. But judging from the context clues surrounding the article, it sounds like 3 weeks ago, Exploring series did it. It sounds like it's like a King in Yellow mixed with like TV sitcom Fresh Prince kind of article, which sounded cool to me. So I was like, shit, let's read this. So I texted Sergio and I was like, we gotta read this. We gotta read this.
All right. I shall kick us off by reading the Carrington Inquiry box that is at the top of this.
Sure.
So we have Carrington Inquiry, SCP-9998 Containment Breach. Final report of inquiry. Produced by Dolores Carrington of the Ethics Committee. Introduction. For the attention of the O5 Council, I was appointed by you, with the full support of the Ethics Committee, to chair an inquiry into the events concerning SCP-9998 at NBC Studios, Burbank, California, on 18th of March, 1999. The terms of reference for the inquiry include, in addition to the aforementioned event, recommendations regarding the Foundation's culture, practices, and containment procedures. I have now heard oral evidence from 156 witnesses, drawn from both sides of the veil, and have examined much written evidence and other documentation either submitted from witnesses or sourced by our agents. In producing this report, I have set out the events preceding, during, and subsequent to what is widely considered to be one of the most significant containment breaches within the history of the Foundation. When we get into the article proper, item number 9998, level 4 secret, containment class neutralized. Do you want to do the like the in page text, and I will handle the inquiry boxes?
I was thinking, because it looks like the inquiry boxes are going to be interviews, so I think I will take the main article, and then we can trade off on the inquiry boxes. You'll take approach, and then once the interviews start, we can trade back and forth.
Sounds
Sound
good.
good? Okay. So item number 9998, level 4 secret, containment class neutralized. There's a picture of the Emmys. It says the 47th Primetime Emmy Awards, September 10th, 1995. SCP-9998 was nominated for Outstanding Comedy Series. Special Containment Procedures. The normalcy restoration effort has concluded. SCP-9998 has been erased from the collective consciousness of humanity, and all efforts have been made to ensure any and all documentation relating to it is in Foundation custody. Casualties and damage resulting from the finale broadcast have either been repaired, erased, or attributed to non-anomalous causes. A decoy television by the same name as SCP-9998 has been manufactured to minimize the risk of Mandela-class amnestic failures. All materials relating to SCP-9998 are to be kept in a triple-locked archive at storage site. These items include VHS recordings of seasons 1 through 5, including the series finale, along with publicity material. Whilst viewing of seasons 1 to 4 is permissible for researchers assigned to relevant anomalies, season 5 is not to be viewed within or without the written consent of SCP-9998's head researcher.
Carrington Inquiry Approach 28. The interviewing of civilian witnesses for the purpose of the inquiry presents complications. Those involved in 9998 to display significant trauma and often denial regarding the events of the finale. For the purposes of the inquiry, when attempting to gain information on 9998's production from civilian witnesses, these individuals were dosed with a combination of amnestics to erase the memory of overt anomalous activity, and amnestics to heighten recollection of the time period immediately preceding the 998 finale. Through this, individuals were led to believe that the finale of 9998 had yet to air, and were interviewed under the premise of a media spotlight regarding the series. If necessary, sedatives or various mesmerist practices were deployed to support this pretense. Following participation in the effort, all civilian witnesses were processed as part of the overarching normalcy restoration effort.
That's such a fun idea of surrounding the interviews behind something is you brainwash them into thinking it's right before the finale. That's actually, I think that's really fun. All right, description. SCP-9998 was a studio audience sitcom titled A Prince Among Men, broadcast on American television network NBC between 1994 and 1999 for 5 seasons. A modern TV show could never make 5 seasons in 5 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say this during the Walking Dead episode we recorded that that Walking Dead is back in the era where shows got seasons every year because it
Yeah,
dropped
it
one every October.
does not happen anymore. Does the new show? I guess not, because there's like 3 new shows. Do they cycle? How does that work? Not
Uh
important. Not important. Tell me later.
okay.
Uh the series was created by David Harper, who served as the executive producer and head writer throughout its run, and was produced by NBC Productions in association with Warner Bros. Television Studios. The series revolved around Cornelius Nell Prince, a teenager from a wealthy upper-class background who, as punishment for his comedic antics, is was sent by his father to live with working-class relatives in the Lower East Side, New York City. SCP-9998's anomalous attributes are detailed following an overview of its plot and production. I like that. It's like the inverse of Fresh Prince. I like that. A rich guy going to live with a poor family. I bet Cornelius is white too. I'll say it. Name like Cornelius.
Probably.
All right, I will read this one, and then we will go back and forth with the interview. Sound good?
Gotcha.
All right, so Carrington Inquiry, Appendix 14, Civilian Interviews. Interview Subject 42, Gary Warrington. Role, Executive President of Scripted Content. Yeah, I know what people said about the show to begin with, that it was derivative, that they'd seen it before, yada yada. We caught some heat in those early days from folks saying it was Fresh Prince, but safe for your conservative white audience. Your scheduling didn't help that one. Now, if we're talking about the studio perspective, maybe they ain't 100% wrong. But not Davey. David Harper, footnote. He always believed in what he was making. He acknowledged the similarities, sure, but he wanted to make something different. I asked him once where the idea came from. There wasn't anything like the show in Davy's background. Average wealth, nice family, suburbs, you know the drill. He just shrugged and said he'd always had these characters in his mind ever since he was a kid. I told the cast this one day, and they started telling me about how Davy told them a completely different story at the rap party for season 2. He put away about 3 bottles of wine and supposedly starts talking about how he found the outline of the series on the Metro one day. The cast's smart, okay? They're not going to tell the world their golden goose is potentially plagiarized. But they can trust me. They know I won't blab. It's my golden goose, too. I get back to the studio after finding this out, and I tell Shayna. Footnote. Shayna Tovey, SCP-9998 writer for Season 1, executive story producer for Seasons 2 through 5. She starts laughing like shit he did. Claims that Davey got all emotional with her over a lunch once. Started talking about how the whole show is based on a play he studied in a lit class at college. A rich lord sent his son to live with the peasants to learn how to rule. That's where the whole 5 lessons came from. So, where the idea for the show actually originated, how's this for an answer? Who the fuck knows? Ask Davey yourself. You'll get a completely new answer. Plot and production. In October 1992, Harper pitched the concept of the series to Gary Warrington, executive president for NBC's scripted content. Harper and Warrington were acquainted from their time studying at Hobart and William Smith colleges. With Warrington's support, the concept was bought by NBC Studios as a premise pilot. After a positive reception from test audiences, a full season was commissioned. Also, I was right. Just pointing that out there. Nell
Yes, I
Prince.
did notice that.
The pilot opens with Nell Prince arriving at the home of Joseph Broker, Joseph's wife Jackie, and their 2 children, Allie and Anthony, who are both younger than Nell. Joseph and Jackie are introduced as distant relatives of Nell's. The ambiguity of the exact nature of the relationship is a running gag throughout the series. Nell has recently embarrassed his father, a wealthy business magnate, by performing a prank whilst his father hosted business associates at their estate for dinner. As punishment for this, Nell's father arranges for his son to stay with the brokers for the foreseeable future. Much of the humor in the first season derives from the juxtaposition of Nell's former and current circumstances. For example, having to share a bedroom with Anthony and contribute to household chores. The series was shot primarily at NBC Studios in Burbank, California. A permanent set was constructed for the Broker family house Stage 5, where all scenes filmed were shot in front of a live studio audience. The set was maintained for the duration of the series until its destruction in the SCP-9998 incident. The first season was scheduled on Monday nights in the slot preceding The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, leading both programs to be advertised together as the Prince Hour. After ratings were significantly better than expected for the first 2 seasons, primarily due to positive word of mouth, the final 3 were broadcast in a coveted 7:30 to 8 p.m. time slot on Thursday nights prior to Friends. Despite healthy ratings, the 5th season of SCP-9998 was announced to be the final prior to its airing. This was at the insistence of Harper, which brought him into conflict with studio executives at NBC. All 5 seasons were predominantly episodic, but according to production crew, episodes within individual seasons were intended to be thematically linked.
All right, we have another civilian interview here with Shayna Tovey, the executive story producer and writer for 99A. So, whenever we would get together to start plotting a season, you count on David to rock with the writers with 2 things: pizza and a lesson. Like, he had this goal that the show would be greater than the sum of its parts, you know? Each season would be a lesson for Nell. 5 lessons to learn for him to reunite with Dad. Take the second season. We learn that Nell is adopted, that his dad isn't the real dad. Not only that, but we learn Dad can't have kids of his own, and adopted Nell to have an heir to leave the Empire to. Nell helps Jennifer, footnote, a member of the supporting cast, a student at the school Nell attends, come to terms with her pregnancy and take care of the baby. There's load of B plot around the broker's parents and their kids, and Nell helps strengthen their relationship. That's season's lessons was legacy. You following me? Nell learns why his dad has such high expectations of him. So season 1 is all about learning your place in the world. What else is out there? Nell's being exposed to things he'd never seen from his penthouse. 2 is the importance of legacy, where you come from. 3 was on growth through pain. You have the whole arc with Nell's bully, but the episode with Joseph's surgery. 4 was the importance of culture. Nell teaches the broker kids about music. He sets up the theater club at school. They put on that Renaissance play. The last seems the weakest in my opinion. It just cast Nell as seeing himself as superior. I tried to push back on that with no success. We started writing our current season, the all-important final one. You should have heard the arguments Dave had with the big dogs about the fact he wanted to stop. I think all of Callie heard. The screams were so loud. Dave rocks up the room, pizza, but no lesson. It's a secret, he says. I'll have to wait for the finale, and he alone is writing to find out.
Anomalous properties. Following the airing of the series finale, all references to the actors who played the primary cast, Nell Prince and the Broker family, have been anomalously, I can't speak today, modified. Any mention of the actors by name has been modified to be the name of the character they played on SCP-9998. Any information regarding them, which is unrelated to SCP-9998, such as personal details, federal documents, and prior acting credits, have ceased to exist. It is currently believed that, prior to the SCP-9999 or 9998 incident, none of the cast were involved in anomalous activity. Throughout the production and airing of Season 5, several anomalous events occurred in relation to SCP-9998. See Addendum 1. These culminated in the SCP-9998 incident. See Addendum 2. All right. Interview Subject 22, Lucille Keaton. Role, SCP-9998 Casting Director. A new show is my dream. Far more exciting than a new cast member joining something long running. In a new show about family, it's just perfect. Thinking about how these people will interact, what their dynamics are. Does the daughter look more like the mom or the dad? Why did the parents choose each other? What's their chemistry? The dream. I love my job. For Prince Among Men, Nell was obviously the role we just had to get right. We wanted someone unknown, someone the audience wouldn't have seen before. David Harper told me how he was sent to live in the skids because of a prank gone wrong. This kid keeps making jokes and playing around. Then one day his dad decides he needs to grow up. That's all I needed. Boyish, charming, and mischievous. But he's also a bit of a snob, right? The dynamic with the family doesn't work otherwise. We get headshots in, narrowed it down from there. I saw 40, maybe 50 guys for the role. Then did callbacks for 10, where Gary and David joined. I knew who was getting the role before callbacks, though. From the moment Nell walked in through the door, he had a star quality to him. I knew Nell would make a great Nell Prince, and I knew Gary and David would agree. It's the role he was born to play. Footnote. Language indicative of SCP-9998's anomalous effects in which the character of Nell has subsumed the identity of the actor who played him.
Yeah, I was wondering why they weren't that the actor and the character had the same name. That is
All right. Addendum 1. Season 5. The fifth and final season of SCP-9998 was comprised of 24 episodes and aired between September 1998 and May of 99. Following information received from several sources, the Foundation became aware of several incidents with potential anomalous influence occurring during the production of SCP-9998. These are as follows. During filming, cast members repeatedly began to deviate from their scripts. These deviations are often at odds with the tone of both the scene and the overall show. The below transcript is taken from the filming of Season 5, Episode 14, Nell Wins Big, in which Joseph and Jackie discuss the news that Nell's father will come to visit with the intent of taking custody.
I can't believe our Nell will be is it Nell?
It's Nell.
Okay,
Because it's Cornelius.
Yes. I'll be leaving us soon. It said his dad might take him to Gesualdo to celebrate.
Gesualdo? That's the pizzeria that just opened up around the corner? Ha 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 ha, laugh track.
No, Joe. Would it kill you to have a bit of culture? It's in Italy.
Jackie flourishes as she says to Country, putting both hands over her heart. Little Italy?
Ah ha ha
Ha
ha
ha ha
ha
ha ha
ha.
ha ha ha.
Joe, Italy, Europe.
Jackie playfully smacks Joseph across the head. Our prince will travel to lands further than Europe, and I cannot help but wonder if we have truly prepared him for what is to come. For the pitch-black celestial seas he must traverse. Has his time come? Has his time wallowing with our squalor taught him what his father sought him learn? In truth, I wish to keep him from us. Keep him with us. He is truly far more impressive than either of my seed. Yet, those who fight destiny are just as bound to it as those who embrace it. I am scared, Jacqueline. Scared for what is to come for us, for him, for us all. Okay, cut. Joe, what was that? Sorry, I wanted to try something new. Well, don't. Let's take it from the top. Places.
Hey, give me a heads up in the future if you're planning to improv.
Other notes of Addendum 1. During the filming of episode 16, Nell learns the ropes. A pregnant member of the studio audience in her third trimester miscarries. There are no previous noted issues regarding the pregnancy. Alejandro Gonzalez, chief lighting technician for all 5 seasons, vanishes whilst working overtime alone at stage 5. On stage 5, his whereabouts are still unaccounted for. On 12 separate instances of filming, members of the live audience are escorted off the premises as they are unable to cease laughing at SCP-9998. Once removed from NBC Studios, they are able to regain composure. The actor playing Nell Prince, who had previously maintained a meticulously clean-cut public image, makes controversial statements in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter to promote SCP-9998. In response to a mention of a recent homophobic murder, Prince questions the validity of homosexual relationships as they're unable to result in biological children. The comments are buried by Prince's agents in the interview Prince without them. That's crazy. Rumors begin to circulate regarding the well-being of David Harper. By numerous accounts, Harper has become quick to anger with both cast and crew and takes almost exclusive ownership of drafting episode scripts, at one point requesting that site security bar all other writers from the studio. His physical health is subject to speculations. Eyewitness reports state that his abdomen as severely distended, whilst others report citing raw, inflamed tumors protruding from underneath Harper's clothing.
I'm getting Mpreg vibes here. There's kind of this there's kind of been this undertone of like
Mpreg vibes. He just swore off homosexual relationships.
well no the fucking David Harper, the writer with his abdomen severely distended, and especially if you look up what I'm about to read in this interview here, there's a bit of a theme of conservative values of pregnancy going on. So I'm like, is this guy carrying a creature inside of him? I guess we'll find out. All right, we got another interview with Shayna Tovey here. I've been working on the show since day one. I thought Dave and I had a pretty good relationship. I won't be attending the filming of the finale. It's very much the Dave show. He's written it, he's going to direct it. I've not even seen the script. It's only gone to the cast. Dave's scripts and story outline have taken an increasingly conservative tone as the show progressed. And look, I'm not best friends with Gloria Allred, but everything that happened with Clinton, I just thought it was important that young girls watching the show knew that there was more to being a woman than just sex, that they could be seen as more than that. The scene Dave wrote where Jackie tells Allie the most important role she'll ever have in life is a wife and a mother. You know, you've probably seen it. Episode 3 of the season. I asked him if we could loosen the language a bit, showcase there are more than one role model a girl can aspire to. And he blew up. I don't know if the stress of writing the final season, maybe the coke, probably the coke, but he just screamed in my face.
Do you remember what he said to you?
I'm not going to forget. He said if I was so concerned about female role models on the show, he could get Joseph to chop Jackie's limbs off so she could be, and I quote, an immobile brood mother. He then told me to fuck out of his office. That was uncomfortable.
Following the airing of episode 6, Nell heads to the Renaissance Fair. NBC announced that the series finale would be broadcast live. The move, a joint decision between the studio executives and Harper, followed other successful experiments within live episodes, such as the second season of Rock and the season 4 premiere of ER in 97. The episode would be filmed and broadcast once in its usual East Coast slot, resulting in the West Coast broadcast being rescheduled to earlier in the day. Along this announcement, the following logline was publicized. Nell's time with the brokers come to a close as his father arrives to return him home. The announcement of the live episode and its summary resulted in intense public interest and media speculation as to the identity of the actor playing Nell's father. Bookkeepers began accepting bets on a wide variety of both actors and non actors. Figures speculated to be participating in the finale in some form raised from businessman Donald Trump to seasoned sitcom actor Bill Cosby. The announcement also precipitated a significant increase in anomalous activity, as all illustrative incidents listed above the occurred post announcement. I was gonna ask how Bill Cosby would work, but they did mention adoption, so I guess that does make sense. I guess that
Yes.
could happen. All right, take the Foundation investigation.
In the lead up to the finale of 9998, Foundation staff correctly identified several anomalous incidents related to the show. These both occurred on and off set. The impetus of investigation into 9998 was information received from the Hollywood branch of the FBI's Unusual Incidents Unit, UIU, GOI 102. For over years, the UIU has investigated claims of an anomalous cult active in Hollywood and wider entertainment circles linked to the number 5. Due to the perceived prevalence of the number 998, 5 seasons, 5 lessons filmed on stage 5 primary cast members, GOI 102 believed the rumored cult to have influence over 998 and informed the Foundation context of such. Foundation agents, both of who initially received the information and those who conducted subsequent investigations, did not demonstrate sufficient skepticism nor independent validation of the information that GOI 102 provided. Whilst GOI 102 is regarded as a cooperative organization, all information received from third parties should be challenged and treated with both scrutiny and rigor. The Foundation overly relying on 102's hypothesis regarding 998 ultimately led to a misidentification of the anomalous parties involved. Cultural issues present in the Foundation compounded weaknesses in the initial investigation. 998 was incorrectly identified as low risk and received insufficient attention and resources. The scale of 998's eventual containment breach was considered at best highly improbable, at worst impossible. This is best demonstrated by the blood extract taken from researcher Tim Watchman's testimony. Full testimony is available in Appendix 13, Foundation interviews. I know this is going to sound, and in retrospect, it sounds negligent. But we're all human, and we both exist on both sides of the veil. The wall coming down, the war ending, it really affected us. Things felt safer. Sure, there are still innumerable horrors contained within most Foundation sites, most of which were armed with nuclear failsafes, but both those things were ours. They were under our control. We don't get to worry about a containment breach arising from the Cold War turning hot. We managed to take custody of most of the para weapons both sides have been researching. They were all more optimistic for the future. For time and a while, it felt like things would be okay. Through the course of this inquiry, incidents of complacency were identified in the categorization, investigation, and handling of 32 anomalous items or phenomena initially deemed low risk, in addition to 998. These discoveries were incidental and unintended. The true scale of the issue is likely much greater. As stated in paragraph 135, the Foundation did identify anomalous incidents related to the immediate production of 998. The issues listed in paragraph 136 through 39, though, limited the scope of Foundation's investigations. The staff failed to identify several anomalous incidents linked to 998, which have only come to light through this inquiry. These include a 37-year-old woman in Detroit, Michigan expired due to aspirating her own blood arising from a broken jaw. Her husband was arrested, charged with her murder. He claimed her wife's jaws broke due to excessively laughing at an episode of 9998. 142. The president of the Nell Prince fan club, the actor, not the character, a 26-year-old woman in Boston, Massachusetts, attempts to remove the cochlea from both of her ears with a corkscrew. She's hospitalized and reports she's attempting to silence a laugh track, which she began to hear constantly. A 23-year-old man in Springfield, Oregon, was discovered completely exsanguinated at his residence in front of his television.
That's
The site
badass.
was was the site of devoid of blood with the exception of a bloody handprint on the television screen. The Foundation became aware of the incident and the television was taken into custody on the belief it was anomalous. 3 weeks of storage testing was conducted and concluded that the object was not anomalous. Autopsy reports placed the man's death occurring during a 998 broadcast. 2 boys, aged 9 and 14, were admitted to St. Luke's Hospital in San Francisco, California, with multiple fractures and bruising. They claimed their father, who had no prior history of neglect or mental health issues, had beaten and admonished both of them for not being good as a son as Nell Prince was. This report finds that the Foundation had correctly and completely gauged the full extent of 998's anomalous influences. The potential for a scenario on the scale of the 998 incident should have been considered and the incident potentially prevented from occurring.
Badass. Addendum 2. The series finale. The following transcript is the final 10 minutes of SCP-9998's series finale. The entirety of this transcript was broadcast across the United States. Begin log. The Broker household is decorated with balloons and a banner reading, "Time to return. Nell Prince and the Broker family wear domino masks." Oh man, is this what a masquerade is? I thought it was an energy drink. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, brother.
Ha 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 ha. The camera pans to the other side of the room. Nell stands next to Joseph and Jackie. Hey, I just wanted to say, before I go, I've had a really swell time here.
Aw, sweetheart, that's so kind of you.
We'll miss you, Nell. You've been the best, cousin? Joseph looks at Jackie. She shakes her head. Ha 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 ha. Nephew. Joseph looks at Jackie. She shakes her head. Ha 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 ha. Second Joseph looks at Jackie. She shakes her head. Ha 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 ha. Joseph is silent. Niece?
Joe.
Jackie smacks Joseph across the head. Audience laugh. In the end, it doesn't matter. You're family, and that's what counts. Come here. The three hug. The audience fawns. The house phone rings. I'll get it. Anthony begins to run towards the phone. He trips and falls behind the sofa. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I think I broke my widder shins. Ha 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 ha.
You're what? You don't have a Wittershins.
Ha 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 ha. Not anymore, I don't. Ha 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 ha. Yellow. Yes. This is Neil or Nell. Oh. Oh, okay. No, I understand. I'll let them know. Nell hangs up.
Sweetheart, is everything okay?
I don't know. My dad's sick. Really sick. He can't come anymore. I'm still going back, but he can't come here. He's sending someone he trusts to collect me instead.
Oh, Nell, I'm sorry. Being a parent is the most important thing in the world to me, so I'm sure when I say this, he could be here if he could.
I know. And you'll still be back beside him in your rightful place soon enough. You can't escape your blood. You can run, but it will always run with you, fueling your futile flight.
Oh, brother.
Footnote 6. Speech believed to be anomalous deviation from script. Audience laugh. Ha 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 ha. Someone knocks on the front door. That must be who my dad sent. Woo! Nell runs to the door and opens it. I thought it would be you. The identity of the new arrival cannot be seen. They linger outside the set, an outside camera shot. It makes sense Dad would send you. Please, come on in. Nell stands aside and gestures for the guest to enter. SCP-701-1 enters through a doorway. Audience is silent. As 701-1 is
The Hang King's tragedy. That is
yes,
the creature that shows up during the play.
badass. Oh, he did mention a play. Audience is silent. End of log.
All right, interview subject 132, Dr. Laxmi Narang, role SCP-701 head researcher. Prior to the finale of 998, there had not been a 701 event in years. Some of the team wondered aloud if there would be another, and asked how long it would have to be before the object class was reassessed. And then another event took place, and it was being live to nearly every family in America. Since the incident with Psi 9, we were cautious with the exploration of Alamogordo. Frequent rotations of staff assigned to the anomaly. Incursions took place. But teams were under explicit instructions. Get in and out as quick as you can. Stay near the exit doors and do not venture further in. Maybe we were too wary. It made information gathering difficult. We knew, though, that despite the lack of 701 events, nothing seemed to have changed or developed. Then, in weeks prior to the finale, there was a markedly increase in activity. Crowds of entities, inhabitants and visitors alike. We only found one willing to talk to us, albeit briefly. They mentioned they were part of a delegation, visiting to attend the coronation. Equipped with hindsight, you can see how the pieces fit together. Yet at the time, how were we to know that mild anomalous activity on a mediocre U.S. sitcom were connected to these anomalies? We could not. It was impossible. But now, I wish it was not.
Return to the previous log. Welcome to the party. Audience is silent. Nell and SCP-701-1 walk towards the center of the set. The majority of the cast do not react to the latter. Jackie's demeanor changes. She appears distressed and removes her mask. Joseph looks at SCP-701-1 up and down, then turns to Jackie. Those heels are higher than yours! Now I've seen everything. I can't keep up with these modern trends. Jackie looks off screen, towards the camera crew.
David, what's going on? This wasn't in the script. I don't like.
SCP-701-1's head snaps towards Jackie. She falls silent. All cast members, bar Nell, freeze in place. Can I get you a drink? Nell walks to the kitchen area, takes a bottle of beer from the fridge. He walks back to SCP-701-1 and offers it the beverage. It does not react. The audience is silent. More of a wine person, huh? A quiet chuckle is heard from a member of the audience. That's fine. I've got a great one I can offer you. Nell walks over to Allie. How about a nice 16-year-old white? Sound of faint laughter from the audience. Nell produces a corkscrew from his pocket. He inserts it firmly into Allie's submental space, rotating the instrument as he does. Neither Allie nor any other individual present reacts to this. Footnote: the space between the jawbones underneath the mouth cavity. Say, how do grapes greet each other? SCP-701-1 does not respond. They go, Chardon, hey! Sound of faint laughter from the audience. Nell withdraws the corkscrew and places a wine glass under the wound. It begins to fill with blood. And what do you get a sommelier for Valentine's Day? SCP-701-1 does not respond. A bouquet of rosé. Audience laugh. Blood overflows the cup. It runs down Nell's hands, dripping across the set carpet. He moves towards SCP-701-1. To returning home. Nell hands SCP-701-1 the glass, which it accepts. It holds the glass for the remainder of the episode. Whilst the entity is never seen to drink from the glass, its contents diminish with time. SCP-701-1 emits a noise similar to a northern wind flowing between the pages of a forgotten text. The sound tastes of milk, honey, and never said things. White silk on a soft neck. It is tutelage. It is the bond between a father and his prodigal son. It is the promise of ascension and knowing your position. Statement flagged for mimetic corruption. I've learned so much being here with you, with all of you. And there's one thing I've learned, above all else, my final lesson. Nell looks directly at the camera. I am superior to each and every one of you. The audience erupts into wild cheering.
All right, Carrington Inquiry, The Broadcast. The appearance of 701 1 within 998's final episode was flagged as anomalous within 3 seconds of the entity's arrival by a staff member located in the broadcast surveillance hub. It is noted that the BSH's cognitohazard shield successfully deployed and prevented staff from being affected. The decision to shut down a terrestrial television broadcast requires the authorization of 2 officers of a seniority of grade 2V or higher. Authorization must be input digitally into Panoptes, the Foundation's broadcast surveillance system. The 2 supervisors of this grade on duty at the time of the broadcast, one immediately gave authorization. A breach protocol, the second supervisor was not present in the BSH and thus could not grant authorization. It took 3 minutes and 34 seconds to locate the supervisor in a nearby meeting room. Discussing a transfer to another department with a colleague. Return to the BSH and grant authorization. Broadcast shutdown was enacted. As noted in the SCP file, 998's anomalous properties kept the broadcast from being terminated. The BSH recognized this and immediately escalated containment efforts. In addition to delays in attempted containment, the identification of the entity as 701-1 took over 6 minutes to be made. As this identification occurred sooner, the Foundation could be better positioned to contain subsequent events.
Finale watch parties were held across the country. At this point within the broadcast, significant anomalous effects began to manifest. The Foundation attempted to shut down the show's broadcast immediately on SCP-701-1's manifestation, but SCP-9998's anomalous properties resulted in the broadcast being continued unabated. Audiences watching SCP-9998 experienced outbreaks of sudden violent behavior. An illustrative instance is detailed below. Hennessy's Bar, Brooklyn, New York. The finale is broadcast on a large television screen. Patrons sit at tables, drinking, eating, and interacting with one another. The first 20 minutes of the broadcast proceed as expected. At SCP-701-1's arrival, a hushed atmosphere descends upon the bar. While some patrons appear concerned or frightened at the entity's appearance, none leave the premise or cease watching. As Prince and 701-1 interact, some patrons resume laughter. Unprovoked, a patron attacks the individual sitting next to him with a beer bottle. The bottle shatters. The instigating party proceeds to pick up the broken glass and attempt to feed it to the target. Throughout this interaction, both men laugh. Rioting breaks out in the venue, with viewers randomly attacking anyone in front of them, regardless of prior relationship. A woman is thrown towards the television screen. The screen shatters. Each individual shard of glass continues to display the broadcast. The violence continues. En masse, the group exit the bar and continue to engage in random and opportunistic violence with each other and those they encounter in the street. The empty bar is littered with injured individuals. One corpse is sprawled over the bar. The faucet of a beer tap has been forcefully inserted into the left orbital cavity. Beer overflows out of the facial orifices. Another anomalously compromised group exits a watch party at a bar on the opposite side of the street. The two groups collide. The street is subsumed by violence. Several patrons entering their car and proceed to use their vehicles as weapons. Driving through the brawling group. Scenes such as these erupt across the country. The broadcast continued as follows. Noah walks to the center of the set. The camera follows him. SCP-701-1 does not move. It is located at the edge of the shot. Noises are heard from behind the camera, movement, and wheezing. A hunched figure walks into the set. David Harper. He speaks, addressing SCP-701-1.
I did it. I did what you asked of me.
Ha 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 ha.
I wrote.
Ha 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 ha.
They witnessed.
Ha 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 ha.
An heir for the sterile king.
Harper unbuttons his shirt. The entirety of his upper body is subsumed by a large mass of inflamed tissue. He turns to face Prince. The Broker family cast members speak in unison. With this fool's blood, we do ordain. SCP-701-1 raises the index finger with the left hand. The mass of tissue bursts, covering Prince with blood. Harper falls to the floor, dead. Audience laughter registers new peak decibels. The laughter continues, uninterrupted for the rest of the broadcast.
O5 Command authorizes the use of Foundation satellite weaponry to neutralize the broadcast and enact containment. Satellite VX Omega startup initiated.
The blood covering Prince steams and dissolves his clothes, with the sole exception of the masquerade mask. SCP-701-1 begins to slowly rotate its index finger. The skin at Prince's right foot is degloved. The skin peels upwards, flaying Prince's leg before detaching. The process repeats across his body, and he is quickly fully flayed, revealing the musculature and bone underneath. He does not react to this process. The skin floats behind him in large strips. And to our king, who could not sire, we provide a tribute. We provide a child. Prince falls backwards, being caught by his skin. The strips of skin move upwards into the air, carrying Prince. He's still in full view of the camera.
Strike coordinates acquired.
The audience's laughter continues to intensify. Recovered CCTV footage reveal they have begun to engage in flagellation of themselves and those around them. This does not halt the laughter.
What is already born cannot be born wrong, but what is born can on rope be strung.
6 bone-like protrusions erupt from Prince's scalp. They break through the skull and muscle, emerging directly upwards. Blood drips from Prince's flayed body onto the set below. Raised in secret, raised among cattle, what you once were will become your chattel. Chattel? Chattel?
Chattel, I believe.
Chattel. You make sense. Will become your chattel. The 4 Broker family cast members reach behind their back and retrieve what appears to be an antique dagger. These daggers are not visible in any prior shot. Audience members who have flagellated the skin off their bodies proceed to gouge their eyes out.
The Hanged King waits for your return. The pact of skin is recognized.
As Ali speaks, blood sprays across the set on account of the injuries previously inflicted. Each cast member disembowels themselves with their dagger. Their intestines exit their body and spill onto the floor, whooping and hollering from the audience. The cast members begin to speak in unison. And with this,
orbital strike readiness at 80%.
Intestines proceed to tie themselves into one continuous length of organ. One end floats upwards into the rafters of the set and out of shot. Our blood. The other end of the rope the other end of the rope of intestines tie itself around the prince's neck.
Orbital strike readiness at 90%.
We ordain the Hanged Prince. SCP-701-1 closes its hand into a fist. The lengths of flayed skin supporting the prince cease, levitating.
Orbital strike readiness at 98%.
The prince drops.
Orbital strike initiated.
The entire set is obliterated by Foundation intervention. For a second, the broadcast displays a white, bright light before ceasing. Anomalous phenomena deemed to have ceased. Following the strike, Foundation agents were dispatched to the scene to investigate. Forensic analysis of bone dust in the rubble accounted for the bodies of 86% of the audience and crew, the 4 broker cast members, and David Harper. No biological material attributable to Nell Prince was recovered. Its whereabouts is unknown. SCP-9998-1 designation pending.
Another inquiry. Conclusion and findings. The broadcast of 998 led to a total of redacted casualties across the United States. The broadcast results in significant deviation from normalcy. Warning signs were missed and procedures were not followed. In this instance, the Foundation failed in its mission of containing the anomalous. Whilst the use of satellite VX Omega results in the cessation of anomalous phenomena, the activation time was outside of acceptable parameters. This was determined to be the result of the containment breach at the site of operation. Several staff members, including those with key knowledge of the satellite's arrays operation, were compromised following screening of 998's finale in the recreation room. Despite concerns being raised regarding the television program's links to the anomalous, these were not distributed to leadership or security of any Foundation site. This was due to 998 not receiving an official SCP designation until after the finale's broadcast. It was led to 998 finale viewing parties being held in redacted sites. Ultimately, to achieve containment, in addition to the measures listed in the database current containment decision was made to enact the redacted. Redacted. The challenges posed in doing so resulted in redacted. Redacted again. It has been deemed acceptable to establish as an element of a new baseline reality. It is unknown how many more times such a procedure could be enacted. Current estimates stand at redacted. The O5 Council has voted to accept the findings of the report, implement select recommendations, and commit transparency throughout the process on the account of redacted. Recommendations made on the basis of this report are detailed in Appendix 06.
Subject interview. Interview subject 42. Gary Warrington, Executive President of Scripted Content. It's a shame it's ending, really. I was pissed when Davey told me, but at the end of the day, I gotta respect the guy and his choices. We'll find something else. We always do. I'm not sure he will, though. The way Davey talks about his show, it's like he has no interest in other content. A real one and done.
What are you expecting from the finale?
Big numbers. Records broken.
What are you expecting from the story?
What I am expecting, I heard some of the writers wager on what they think the final lesson will be. Davies had complete control over this show for nearly 5 years. Took over the writing of the finale because he wants everything to be done just right. The writers thought that Davey would work into the lesson. Diligence, doing things the right way. The thing is, I think there's a part of this which Davey just doesn't get. You say diligence, some people might say control freak. Sure, he can control the writer's room. It's his name at the top of the credits. He can step away from the show. He can retire, but you can't control everything. You're going to fail if you try. He's created this thing. It's out of the box now. Hell, it's on the box. When something grows beyond you, that's when you lose control. So sure, the series is getting a finale, but who's to say there won't be another? Spin-offs, reboots, cameos. I'm not sure this will be the last you see of Prince, because here's the thing. If there's people watching, we've got no choice but to put on a show.
Jesus Christ. This
That
was
was so
fantastic.
good. Oh my god.
That was a good twist. I have only like minimal like surface level things sorry, information about the Hang King, but the whole show is based on a play he studied in a lit class. Like the subtle hints, like that was awesome.
Oh yeah. That was. I don't even have words, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I think this was like the peak of like what I expect out of like horror on the wiki, where like I feel like there's something that like that horror like good horror articles on the wiki compared to like other things is like SCP horror always ends with me finishing the article and going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
No, this one was so good.
yeah, this is an instant classic. It's getting my upvote.
Oh yeah. I haven't read SCP-9000,
But it had to have been better
It
than
had to have
this.
been better than this, which is fucking. That's gonna be tough.
It was better by 400 upvotes.
Damn. What is 9,000?
It is entitled The Trench.
Well, maybe we'll read that. So how long? It's long. Okay.
Yeah, it's long.
Holy shit. I just opened it. That guy in the history looks like Colonel Campbell from Metal Gear Solid. I know we said we were gonna read another one, but that one was longer than I thought, and I feel like it should stand on its own. I don't know how you feel about that, but I would be down to record another episode in like a couple days and read that one, and then maybe another shorter one.
That'll work for me, especially because I think the one I picked out was of a slightly lighter tone.
Yeah,
So we'll
I
let
think
this
I think this one needs to sit because this one was holy shit, you know.
yeah. The next one we will read is that's Anytown. It's not
Oh my
the
god, this one
Fanon
is so
HQ.
laggy. What the fuck did they do to this one? I found another one for us to read.
Which one?
Oh wait, no, this one's short as fuck. I was gonna say 944, but it's actually really short. And I don't know what they did to this specific site or this specific page, but it is so laggy for me. I don't know if it is for you.
9044.
Yeah,
It is not.
it's so laggy for me.
Strange. The one we had planned to read was SCP-9095, which is a Vikander Need technical media article
Mm-hmm.
written by one Katya Strangelove, which we had the honor of meeting them at Holmat.
Yeah,
Because they
which was a
also
crazy coincidence.
we found out after the fact that they made an art exchange gift for me. That is how they knew who I was in the first place, which is like such a like that's one of those big like cosmic coincidences where it's like
Uh-huh. I found another one that I really want to read. But unfortunately it's extremely long again, so maybe.
which one is that one?
9191. Well look, we'll find some
Mm-hmm.
pages to read for
uh,
next time to go
mm,
along with Katya's.
this one might be I mean it'll probably need to be on its own, but it's not like too long.
Yeah, it has like
Yeah,
4 pages.
yeah. Oh, 4 pages. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, if you click encrypted file leads you to a new page.
Uh-huh.
You scroll down on the new page. Uh verify credentials again, and then there's branching paths, interestingly, where
Ooh.
you
That's
can
one I
accept
would
the
want to get.
normalcy. Yeah.
I would want to get the rest of the guys around for that. I feel like the big articles are more enjoyable if we have more of a cast to like bounce off of.
Yeah. I agree with that. So I think we can do that one too. Let's just start writing down series 10s to read for
Yeah.
episodes. We should get back into it.
There's one called the Manosphere. Dude.
Dude, we gotta do
9517.
we gotta do a Yakub Manosphere SCP episode apparently. Because you said there's a Yakub article now too, right?
Yeah, the white people is the name of the article.
So we can do Manosphere and white people for an episode.
Yeah, Manosphere is pretty short.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's the other one we can read with next episode. I'll post it in wet links. It's a plague PJP article about a Sharpie.
Ooh, yes, plague's fun.
But yeah, no, this one like floored me. This is one of the best SCP articles I've read in a while. This one was fantastic.
Yeah, we should also get back into running an SCP panel together.
Probably. I'd be down.
Because I remember last year at ShofuCon, it was the last time I ran it, and I hadn't ran it in quite some time, and I finished it. I was like, wow, that was really fun. I miss doing this panel. So we should come together and whip another one of those up.
Yeah, I'd be down.
All right. And with that, we wish you a happy new year, and we hope you have good times with your families. And next year, more SCP Series 10. We've got our best and worst of the year for 2025, and you can catch us at eShowCon in Ypsilanti, Michigan, at the end of January.
Woo!
as well as I just discovered this, that there is a combo like fandom slash sci-fi slash like makerspace hacker convention called Penguicon in Michigan that I've just never been aware of, but it looks like we're gonna go to that too. So got a lot to look forward to next year, and we will see you all later. We love